Many times we hear in this space, you know, about women having standards, but we don't all the time speak about men having standards and what those standards can look like. And usually the only reflection we have when we deal with standards for men is their interaction with women. If you are living a life of standards, the majority of your standards should have nothing to do with women. They should be about you. It should be about building you up for the type of man that you are, or you project yourself to become, because it takes work. It takes work. And I don't want to get too deep into this. There was more that I wanted to talk about, but I'll kind of sidestep that so we can get into the broader conversation as it pertains to what is an alpha female and what does that look like. Earlier this week, I was watching Cruise Season. I think it might have been his Wednesday show. Shout out to Trill and his crew. And, you know, they cover like multiple topics and different discussions, and they give their feedback or opinions. And there was this one clip that he played, and the interviewer was speaking to a woman, and he asked her, what is an alpha female? To define it. And she provided a very sizable list of things. She said, an alpha female is extremely independent. That's the first thing she said, literally. Extremely independent. Successful. Career-driven and goal-oriented. Very matter of fact in the way in which she communicates or speak. Does not, and hear me out, does not look for help. Likes validation from her education, her status, and what she has attained. Now, as I listened to what she said, that breakdown, later after the show, a couple of days after, I went back and I looked at that clip. And if you close your eyes and not look at who is speaking, and you listen to that definition that she dropped, that sounds like a man, the description of a man, of a successful man. So in essence, what she described as an alpha female was an alpha male in a female's body. I mean, if the female is the opposite of a male or a man, shouldn't her qualities be different than the man? Shouldn't what make her alpha be something different than what makes a man alpha? Excuse me. And I thought about a CEO or president of a company. If you were building a team that you're starting your business, you're putting a team together, what type of people are you going to look to hire? Would you get people with the same skills that you have? Or would you get people that are strong in skills that where you are weak? So this was, as I thought about this, I said, this don't make sense what she's saying. You want people with complementary skills to you. If everybody on your team is just like you have a lopsided team. You have all similar qualities, and you have a bunch of weaknesses. Like if you're not good in accounting and you hire other people who are not good in accounting, you're going to lose money because nobody can keep the books. If you're not strong in marketing, who's going to promote your product? How are you going to sell it? You're going to lose money. And if you're not good at keeping inventory, you're never going to have the products that your customers need because you're going to be out and you're not going to know how to order and when to order to make sure you're always stock or in stock. So good leadership and being an alpha is really someone who, I would say, first understand what their strengths are, what you are strong in, and more importantly, what you're weak in. You want to hire people that have strengths where you have weaknesses. Build a strong team. In reality, most people in the world don't have all the skills that everyone should have. You have things that you're good at and things that you're not good at. Likewise, in a relationship, you would want a woman who complements you, not a woman who is just like you. If you are an aggressive man and you choose a woman that's an aggressive woman, what do you think is going to be the result of that relationship? You guys going to be getting along? Or you guys going to be fighting and arguing and disagreeing all the time? The kind of woman you would want is a woman who is more peaceful, more reserved, less argumentative or combative, sometimes just able to let you vent, because sometimes men do that. We just want to vent. And then, sometimes your mate could come back and say, well, honey, I was thinking about what you said the other day, and this is what I thought. And then you'd be like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Thanks, babe. But if she's a hothead, when you're saying whatever you're saying, she's going to be giving it right back to you. And as much as the sex may be good and the loving may be good, or there may be strong love in the relationship, how long you think banging heads together is going to last? You're going to go to bed at night, sleepless nights, asking yourself, why the hell am I here? So as I was thinking about this whole discussion about what is an alpha female and whether or not there is such a thing as an alpha female, and I'm not saying that there is, but if there was one, what would that look like? I would say obviously off rip, she would definitely, fit feminine and friendly, that would go without saying, right? But what are the other female characteristics that an alpha woman would be able to project? I would say in general, she probably would not be single, at least not for long. She would be a married woman. Because women who exemplifies strong female traits tend to bring out the more masculine traits in men. And men are more comfortable when their masculinity is like somewhat revving, strong. And women like that, they tend to vibe with very easily. It's what we desire. I would think she would also be gentle, someone who can handle others with care, not abrasive, not being rude with her mouth, someone who is kind, looks for the good in others, someone who have a caring nature. You know, the type of woman where just her voice, just the way she would say something could soothe you, could calm you. You know, back in the day, we used to hear about Beauty and the Beast, the beauty that calms the savage beast. That's femininity versus masculinity. Beast mode for a man is the most alpha, most masculine, most aggressive, sometimes maybe even out of control type of masculinity. But an alpha female should be able to soothe a man like that. The most masculine, aggressive man, an alpha female with her femininity can calm even the most savagest of men. That's an alpha female. She should be sweet. In short, a pleasant person to be around. How many of you know women that, you know, some guys are married or in relationships where they don't even want to go home after work. They're looking for places to go, things to do, hanging out with other people, or just want to put in extra time at work just because going home is not a sweet place to be. The person there is more like a lemon as opposed to being more like honey. A woman who has a maternal and nurturing instinct about her. A mother, a caregiver, someone who see and care for the most fragile of things, a baby. A tolerant woman, a woman whose spirit is not easily angered. And obviously, the killer that most women can't stand, submissive. A submissive woman. A submissive woman don't find reason to object. She looks for reason as to how can she solve. She doesn't look for reasons to push back. She looks for reasons on how to accomplish. That's where that helpmate thing comes in. Respectful. And this is a big one. A woman who knows what to say, and more importantly, what not to say at the right time. Because I think one of the biggest things that Black women have, and I'm going to say this, and I normally don't say this, I don't usually bring all into my conversation, but I would venture to say all Black women are loudmouth. They don't know when the hell to shut up. I think in my life I may have met one Black woman that was of a quiet spirit. And I've been many places. And I've met Black women from many countries. And they all tend to be loudmouth sometimes. So that definitely, I think, is something that sisters should work on. Someone who is supportive. A supportive woman builds a man's spirit. An unsupportive woman tears him down. She always tells him what he can't do. Oh, he's never good enough. As opposed to the woman that can rub you on your shoulder, rub down the back of your neck, and say, baby, I know you can do that. You've always accomplished everything you set your mind to do. Don't worry. I got you. I support you. A sensitive woman. A woman who can read a situation and know the right things to do or not do. They say women are emotional, emphatic, or empathetic. Those are that's a quality of being able to read the vibe in a space and know without knowing or without anyone saying a word, can catch the sense of the room. Sensitive, to feel the essence of the situation, what's happening now. Devoted, a devoted woman, a woman with an unyielding ability to love. And the last one I would say for me is a peaceful woman. A woman who is not argumentative, a woman that makes a man, like when he gets home, the load off his back just drops to the floor. His stress, when he comes home, even though a day's work may feel like he was carrying the world on his back, when he walks in that house, his woman knows how to make him feel like, baby, you don't have a worry in the world. So in my perspective, when I think of what an alpha female would look like, what qualities she would have, I see something completely different than what the woman on that show described as an alpha female. The traits she listed were masculine male traits, things that make the world recognize men as being successful, masculine, or alpha. When a woman exemplifies female traits at the highest level, what we would say maybe is an alpha level, meaning the highest, she should have those qualities more than the average woman. She shouldn't have male qualities. She should have female qualities exemplified. She should be the image of what other women would aspire to be.